Hey, I hope all is well with you. I'm Leslie. You can call me LesAnn. I will answer because it's still my name. Hooty hoo. Whew. So I'm going to go ahead and tell you that this is going to be probably a short one. Um, so we had some extremely lofty ideals and plans for last week when it came to the Black History pattern designers challenge, sewing Black pattern designers. And I laid our whole list on last, I think, must have been Monday. And I had every plans of doing a very, I think it was like 4 things I knew I probably was going to push off until the new month, which we are in March, which is crazy. But I just knew, I was going to do a couple of them. But the other ones, it was a strong possibility I could get through. Well, sad to say, y'all, I actually did not do as much as I had planned. And I'm going to tell you why. And so y'all know right now, I'm actually not drafting. I am putting a pattern. I'm going to tell you about the pattern I'm doing, which is ME 269. I actually have the envelope, but I had bought the paper pattern because I couldn't figure out what I did with all of the everything. Anyway, I made sure I bought a paper pattern, which is good because I don't have everything. But which is fine because I'm modifying it. So this is going to be a modified version of that top of the top. I'm doing the top. Anyway, so I had made these big lofty plans, and the lofty plans did not come to fruition. And the reason why is because I ended up sick. Not like a little sick, but sick enough that I was in the bed. Complete exhaustion, coughing up whatever was in my chest. It's for me, for probably, I say, a better part of 20, 25 years. Whenever there's an extreme change in the weather, and I go in and out in those days that the weather is doing its crazy thing, I get sick. And when I get sick, I get like to the point where I don't function well sick. And it's annoying for me. Not even gonna lie. It's very annoying. But it is what it is. So I just have to, deal with it. But sometimes it's not that bad, and then sometimes it's really bad. So last week it was pretty bad. I stayed pretty dizzy, and so I couldn't do anything. I think I came in here to sit and look at stuff, like look at my sewing machine, look at my fabric, look at my plans, just looked at it. I couldn't do nothing with it, so I didn't. It was a hard pill to swallow, not because I was worried about the challenges, but because I really wanted to get those things done, and they was going to help me determine and what I was planning to do with this this next challenge that I am a part of, which is Make 6 in 2026. And because I've used each challenge that they have put out there, whomever puts it out. If I think I could do it, I'll go ahead and try to. I may not say it online that I'm going to do it on social media or whatever, but I'll apply it to, okay, is this a part? Can this help me complete the other challenge I want to do? So part of the challenge for me, make 6 in 2026, which is being put on by Rochelle by Handmade, is that I'm trying to find a great button-up shirt, which I did find a great button-up shirt. It's just not the shirt that I really want for this particular challenge. So the shirt that was a really good pattern that worked out for me, and I actually did it twice, which was ME2052. That is a beauty du jour pattern. When I've seen many people make it, and I didn't think I would like it on my body, only because I don't like to add too much weight around or fullness around my waistline, because it just makes me look bigger, and I don't like that look. I like things to fit usually around my waistline, or at least give the illusion of an hourglass fit. But I was like, well, it's a way that I can test the pattern out, and that's what I've been doing, testing a lot of patterns out to see if I'm going to like them in the first place. And then after I test it out, I say it's a yes, we'll do it again, or a no, we're going to go ahead and get rid of it. And I think that's one of the things that Rochelle is doing, is she's trying to test patterns, or try her patterns that she has bought over the years. And then if it's a good one, keep one, she's going to make it again. If not, she's going to get rid of it. That is my plan as well. Because for me, even though I don't sew for just for myself, I sew for me as well as my family. If I feel like fixing it, I'm going to make it. And that it doesn't matter who it is, pretty much. If one of my kids wants something specific, and I have the material for it, I'll go ahead and make it. If my grandkids ask for it, I'll make it. But that's how I've always been. I am truly a person who loves to sew, so it really doesn't matter who I'm sewing for. So I did it in a pink satin, and I will try to make sure I put a picture or video of me in the garment. This is the one, the white shirt, oversized white shirt that you see on the pattern, and she has a double cuff on it. Now, for me, the things that I noticed that I felt that could be better, not necessarily better, I don't even know if that's the right word, but accentuate. That's what the word is. Accentuate the positives, because the positive part about it is not just that it's oversized, but the beauty of the double cuff. Well, when you're using a cuff that is the same color throughout, you don't notice that there is a double cuff. The other thing that I noticed, using the interfacing with the double cuff situation, you can't tell it's a double cuff. But it's a double cuff, and you got the weight of your fabric plus the weight of the interfacing. So if you don't use like a very thin interfacing, and your fabric is, even if it's a cotton, depending on the weight of the cotton, depends on how thick that cuff is going to be. you need interfacing so that when you put the buttonholes in, it doesn't lose its shape and the cuff stays the way it needs. You understand? Hope that makes sense. Well, being that all those factors play into the situation, there was a problem. There was a problem. So the problem was it was so bulky when it came time to actually put buttonholes and buttons in that I didn't put them on. The thickness was way too much, so I ended up having to just actually tack my buttons into place, which is fine. The only thing I am going to have to do, and this has nothing to do with the pattern, it has to do with me, is that I'm going to have to go back in and adjust my cuff over like a hair. I have it a little too much because I don't want it where as soon as I slide my hand in, that my hand can disappear. Because this is oversized. The length of the sleeve, I probably could have shortened maybe about an inch because it still hits, it kind of hangs over my hand a little bit more than I want. So that's one thing that I noticed. I did do French seams on it. And doing the French seams, it hid a lot of the mess ups and the fraying of the, I'm looking at the shirt, that's why I'm saying this. It hid the fact that the weight of the material that I was using, which was a polyester satin, it was a low grade version. It was very cheap, but it, certain brands or certain kinds fray bad, real bad. And so because when they fray like that, then you have to worry about serging. And I didn't serge any of this. Any place I could French seam, I did. I used my band roll method to do the hem. And I did that before I actually sewed the side seams up because I needed that finish to be done so that when I sewed the side seams up, we weren't playing fighting. Okay? I didn't want to play fight with this. Well, I think that's pretty much it. I did use some buttons that were larger on the main part of the shirt and use smaller buttons on the sleeves because that's what I had. I was trying to avoid buying buttons. That's one thing that bothers me probably the most is buying new buttons just because. I'm trying to avoid it. Is it easy? No, it's not easy, especially for me. But in this case, I did really good. So that was a complete in-house de-stash project. Yes. Then after I did that one, I knew that I was going to make it again, but I wanted to make modifications to the cuff. I wanted the cuff to stand out. I know she doesn't talk about top stitching around the cuff area, but I knew that I was going to top stitch. Now, I will use a different foot the next time. I got to find my edge foot. The one I used was a regular quarter. I think it was a 1/4 inch foot, a quilting foot most likely, that I did top stitching around the cuff. But I also modified the cuff so that you can see that it was a double cuff. So it looks like stairs, I guess you would say. Looks like stairs. I would say it like that. And I like that. I did like that. That turned out way better than I thought it could. I mean, I guess in so many ways, I knew it was going to come out the way it was going to come out. It wasn't like I didn't know. And then the other thing I did so that I didn't have problems with the buttonholes was I actually, hold on, I'm going to show you. And I'm probably going to have to put it on the screen. I thought I'd go ahead and finish up me doing the modifications to ME2069. That's what the pattern I've been working on while talking to you in this video. I adjusted it to make it a little bit wider in the hip area, but yet I didn't want it as long for the rendition I was planning to do, which of course, Leslie being who she is, she didn't even use this pattern, but we will get to it at some point in time. Probably should have like a complete white sheet out, but it'll be okay. All right, so we have pattern piece 10. These are both the cuff pieces. Pattern piece 9. All right, so this is the larger cuff, the bottom cuff. I didn't do anything different with this piece. But the one thing that I did do, instead of interfacing the entire piece, I only interfaced one half. Because you got to think, you're going to end up with 4 rows or 4 levels of interfacing. And depending on which or what type of fabric you use and the thickness of your fabric will affect how well you'll be able to do buttonholes on this project. If you still do it this way, there's another way I'm thinking of doing it, but until I find the fabric to make it again, we'll talk about that then. So instead of interfacing all of it, interface one half. Then when I wanted the stair step that you've seen on the cuff of my second shirt, which is all chiffon, I actually reduced the size of the cuff. So I took off an inch here. I didn't cut it because I know that if I change my mind or I want to do it differently, I still have the original size. So I reduced it by an inch. Then I reduced it by probably like, it should have been here, which is 20. So I'll reduce it by ½ an inch on the side, ½ an inch on the side, an inch basically at the bottom. So that when and then I still fold it in half when it comes time to sewing it. So it ends up being like this. So it's reduced in size so you can really see the difference. So I'm going to go ahead and fold this up as well so you can see the difference. So you can actually see the actual difference between the two. But also you're left with, when it comes down to sewing it and everything, because you got to think this is going to go in another 5/8 inch. So it misses the area where buttonholes are going to go in. And so this is more of a decorative piece, like it is still, but you actually see the look of it. But on both pieces, I only interface below the fold line. That's the easiest way to say it. Below the fold line. It doesn't matter which side, as long as you have it, I'm only going to interface from this fold line down. When you reduce the size, only interface half of it, not the whole piece. By only interfacing half of it, you got 2 layers of interfacing, 4 layers of fabric, but it's not going to be bulky. All right. That's what I did to get that look on my second shirt. And I would probably do it again just for, because I like the way it looks. Then of course, I already told y'all the project bag, the pair of jeans. I already knew I wasn't going to get those done anyway, because that was going to take a little bit of a process figuring out what I need to change about them, because they were a pair of pants that I did years ago, or started years ago. I didn't do the jacquard pants because I was really kind of focused on getting the shirt done, at least the shirts, because I knew I could get those done. And it did take me longer to do the second one versus the first one because of the fact that it was chiffon. I did do French seams on that one as well. Now, my biggest and saddest part of this particular lofty ideas that I had was I knew I could do this one other outfit and get it completely done. Or at least I would have the jacket done. And I know many people talk about analysis paralysis or whatever else, and they struggle sometimes when they got too many selections. I don't, sometimes I go through that, but it's usually because of a vibe thing. And so I'm gonna show you the jacket, the start of the jacket, because I started it. And I was getting ready like run with it, and I probably could have got it done even with me being sick, because I would only come in here for maybe a half an hour, 45 minutes. I would sit, and if I had the energy to do something, I did a little something, but that was it. For the most part, I just would sit in the room and get back up and go get back in bed. I didn't have the energy. I'm still not 100% today. I'm worn out. Like I done did a marathon or something, but I haven't. So I'm gonna take you to the mannequin. I'm gonna tell you a little bit more. Anyway, so the next pattern that I had good plans on, like finishing, which is this one. All right. Mm-hmm. Now, y'all would have seen my stripe one that I did earlier in the week. And yeah, that stripe one is just the cutest thing. I will be rocking it this summer. I will probably do some more things with that pattern. I already know I am, because I really like the pattern. It don't bother me none having 10 things out of the same style. There will be tweaks in each one. They won't be completely the same. Maybe a couple, but there's, that's just how I am. So anyway, so I had decided that I know that this is not a pattern or fabric they suggest you use. No, let me see. Let me talk about what fabrics they suggest you use, which is they should be moderate stretch knits only. Moderate stretch knits only. That's double knit, ponte knit, scuba, sweatshirt, fleece, terry, knit. I don't listen well. I use whatever fabric I want to use pretty much all the time. I will deviate from what their pattern suggestions are as long as you understand the pattern and what it's supposed to do. And if you've already made it once before, you should be able to modify it to make it work for what you want. Okay? You should be able to. I've done it for years. So, this is surely not a Ponte knit. This is surely not a terry scuba, nothing. It is not a knit. It is completely woven. This woven material is, I think it was rayon challis or something, but it's a drapey fabric. Look at it. It's pretty. Pretty, right? Pretty. Pretty, pretty. A good idea to make this into a jacket. And that's why, I knew it should work. Make it into a jacket. Plus, I was trying to use what I had in-house as far as zippers and stuff like that. Because for me to wear this as a dress, I would need a 36-inch zipper because that's the size I have in the other one. And that's the one that made me most comfortable. I wasn't going to do one shorter than that. I may even try to do it where that split is closed, the zipper shorter, and I can step in as a dress. We're going to try that too. I'm going to give anything one try. We got plenty of fabric to try it with. So, anyway, so I decided I was going to do it more like, I was thinking of like a tracksuit vibe or, tracksuit or a, not sweatsuit, but like a two-piece ensemble. So I was going to use this with a knit material for my bottoms. Well, I recently made a pair of royal blue pants. After I made them royal blue pants, and I have enough Liverpool. I have some blue Liverpool, and that's part of what's on this ensemble. I was like, no, I don't think I want that. I don't think I want that. So I didn't do it. And I'm about to show you more on here so y'all know exactly why. Okay. All right. So this is ME207. I gotta take it apart. So I had gotten to this point. It's really cute. I did do some piping. I wish I used a little bit thinner piping, but I kind of like the boldness of it. But I know next time to use a little bit thinner piping, but it still works. And that's only did that so that you have, otherwise you wouldn't even see the difference between the pattern pieces if I didn't do the piping in here. Then we got the band on the bottom. The things I did do was I did lengthen my top by an inch. I lengthened it by an inch. I did make a mistake and I wasn't paying attention. I should have shortened my cuff, this cuff, to a much smaller or shorter so that the sleeve would hit where it's supposed to. It's actually too long. So I'm going to have to go back in and shorten it at least 6 inches. No, maybe not 6, maybe 3 or 4 inches. Shorten the cuff 3 or 4 inches and it'll be where it need to be. So what happened was, so I actually, I removed the seam in the back because there's supposed to be a seam down the back. To me, it was unnecessary because it's a straight seam. Now, if it was a hump seam, I wouldn't have. But it's a straight seam. I eliminated it. And then I made sure that this back part was wider than I needed it to be. Because I was taking a woven to put with this knit. And I still wanted that little bit of a bubble effect and cinching going on. So like I said, it's lengthened an inch in the front. I did it well in the back. And then I did do some gathers or a basting stitch to gather in the band. So this is where the flip my mind happened. This happens often. So y'all may see me do this several times. Whereas once I got done and I actually sewed this in place, right now it's apart because I took it apart. I put it on, and I'm not putting it on right now, but I put it on and I liked where it sat on me. So it gave me that cropped bomber look effect. And I always love a good bat wing kind of effect anyway, because it reduces me having to deal with setting and sleeve. And then also too, with me having a fuller arm, I already am covered. So once I put it on and I knew that, oh no, this is not going to be a longer jacket, because I was planning to put another like 8 inches down on this to make it longer. I cut the pieces, sewed the pieces, but I'm not going to put them on here because once I put it on, I realized it's going to be a really cute crop jacket. So what I'm going to end up doing is taking it out. I need to sew these 2 pieces closed at the bottom, and I'm going to run a piece of elastic around it just to stay in place. It has nothing to do with anything else. Nothing tight. I'm not going to be cinching it. It's going to literally just be going in for stability. And I'm going to close that up, and then I'm going to come through and go ahead and finish it out like I need to. And I'm going to make this a crop jacket. So that takes me to the pants. So I said to you that the blue pants that I wanted to do, because I was going to do a cuff on the bottom of them. I was going to use one of Brittany J. Jones pattern. Can't find it nowhere. So I'm going to have to, go for another pattern in here. But then I realized there's another thing about me. A lot of people will quickly wear a solid pair of pants with something like this. I am that girl who will wear an all over print and love it. It can be the loudest print or a quiet print, but I'll do an all over print in a minute. So once I thought about it, I looked at how much I had of this. I think I got 2.5, almost 3 yards. So I have enough to make me a pair of pants. So I'm gonna make me a pair of wide leg pants. I'm gonna grab one of my old patterns or something like that and make me a pair of wide leg pants to go with this. That's what I'm planning to do. So even though I did not do all I wanted to do, what I was supposed to get done, I got done. And I'm happy for it. So anything else, I didn't cut. I didn't cut nothing else. I stared, sat, and wished. This week may be the same way. So I'm probably not going to I'll get one thing done. And that's okay. I'm going through a process. My body has to do what it wants to do, and I'm going to let it do what it do. It is hard for me because I am that person who is used to being busy constantly. And I ain't gonna lie, it's driving me nuts. Driving me completely nuts. So the main project that I plan to complete this week is my first project for Make 6 of 2026. I'm probably not going to draft the pattern, or not going to toile the pattern like I've been doing, only because this is in pieces. This is, did I show y'all the pattern? I don't know that I was doing. Here it is. This is the one I'm doing, but I'm already modifying it. It is not going to be that long in the back, and I am reducing the amount of like curvature in the front. I don't like a lot of fabric because I want to be able to wear it a little bit more often. I am planning to use this yellow material, cotton, and I will probably use a different sleeve because I don't think I want that sleeve. If I do, okay. But as of right now, with the shape and everything, I'm going to do everything else, but I may change the sleeve. The sleeve may change to a long sleeve. And I know I don't need a whole lot of long sleeve, but I stay cold. And because I stay cold, it's much easier to have a long sleeve shirt than to have a whole bunch of short sleeve, because I'm going to put something on. I swear my shoulders are getting smaller or something. I don't know. So that's what I plan to do now. If I toile it, y'all may see 2 by next Monday. Hopefully, I'm gonna try to make Monday my upload day. So I'm gonna get to editing this one and hopefully get this up by tonight, because I'm getting to get in bed, y'all. I am more tired and worn out than I know, let alone you know. And it's gonna be okay. It's fine. It is fine. So anyway, y'all, I appreciate y'all watching. If you enjoy my content, it's usually not this lackadaisio, and give me a little grace. Give me a little grace. Hopefully in a couple weeks I'll be back to my norm. But I'm gonna let my body do what it wanna do right now. So, and it is what it is. But anyway, y'all, I appreciate y'all. I thank you for watching. If you haven't already, like and subscribe to my channel. If you like sewing content, or me talking about the things that I like to do, which is a few more things than sewing. You may hear something else, like some food, some gardening. You may hear a little less than a little of that. You will hear about my grandbabies. Why? Because I love my babies. So, and the summer's coming soon, so you definitely will hear them. Anyway, y'all, I much appreciate it, and I will catch y'all all on the rebound. Much love.